Hello everybody, this is Bradley from RaceBeacon, and today in this video you may be wondering why the hell are we looking at Instagram, and I'll be telling you why. Because with the recent news that Mick Schumacher has supposedly just today started following the Alpine CEO Laurent Rossi on Instagram, and while this is potentially a good hint that Mick Schumacher is at very least in talks with Alpine, it is by no means a confirmation, and I can see the comments coming already of going, this means absolutely nothing, and you know what, to an extent, you're right. But to me, this does indicate there are at least talks underway, but that's not what I want to rattle on about today. I mean, it loosely is. But I want to be taking a quick look at Mick Schumacher and see if this is actually a good option for Alpine. I'm not going to start saying that he's an upgrade on Alonso by any means, but is there actually some benefit for Alpine here? Now, Mick Schumacher did not have a great rookie season. He was teamed up against another inexperienced driver in Nikita Mazepin, who was, well, yeah. Let's just not use Mazepin as a comparison. But this year he has finally had a slightly higher quality teammate in Kevin Magnussen, who is a proven Formula 1 driver with years of experience under his belt. And while yes, Magnussen is coming back from seasons off, and you could argue he's lost some of his edge, I'm going to be honest, this stat, it doesn't look great. But once we go to the race results, I want to explain why I think Schumacher might not be as bad an option as a lot of people think. So despite the poor qualifying form, Mick Schumacher is still relatively in touch with Magnussen in the driver's standings. You have Kevin Magnussen in 11th place on 22 points, and you have Mick Schumacher with 12 in 15th place. But I want to take a deeper dive into these results. So as you can see here, we have the spreadsheet with all of the results from this season, all the positions that we've seen. Now, Mick Schumacher for the first two races obviously didn't beat Kevin Magnussen. That was for being withdrawn from the race and also a P11, compared to Kevin Magnussen getting some good points on the board early on with a 5th and 9th. But since the 5th race of the season in Miami, I think there's been a bit of a turning point, and I'm going to be honest, I don't think many people have picked up on it, because I know I hadn't really. Kevin Magnussen finishing 16th there. I mean, obviously, both these guys have had bad luck, but we're taking this as a general look of form. So Kevin Magnussen 16th, Mick Schumacher 15th, so there's a win there. Then you've got 14th compared to 17th. 2 retirements, okay, that one's on them. 14th compared to a retirement, and then obviously a retirement here compared to a 17th. So Magnussen, he has had a poor run of form there, as has Mick Schumacher not scoring at any points so far in the season. But then we get to Silverstone, and there's finally some points on the board for Mick. He gets an 8th place and a 6th place compared to a 10th and 8th for Magnussen, being able to comprehensively beat him there. Then a 15th compared to a retirement, but in the most recent race as well, also beating Kevin. And now I don't want to look too deeply into this, because there's so many things that can go wrong for a driver in a race with bad luck, especially in the midfield. Strategy plays a key role as well. And Kevin Magnussen, he has had his fair share of bad luck this year. But so has Mick. He has by no means had a good run at it. But just taking a look at these results as a whole, if you were to graph it, you see Mick Schumacher starting off poorly, being consistently behind Kevin, but as the season's progressed, he's starting to gain his ground on the race pace. That's starting to become a strong point for him. Qualifying pace, as these stats show, it's 11-2 in favour of Magnussen. That is something that Schumacher, especially if he was to move to Alpine, like this suggests, potentially, or at least there's talks in there. Does this make him a good move for Alpine? Because you've got a driver who's normally a couple of attempts off his teammate in qualifying. If you're in Alpine, that's actually a little less important, because then you've got a driver who, presuming they can then turn it on in the race, which Mick is starting to show some ability of, he's starting to improve in the races. Again, I don't want to come out here right now and say, oh, he's magnificent, because for me, he's still one of the worst open options for the Alpine team to go with. But I just want to put some credit in his name, because I feel like it's gone a little bit under the radar, the fact that Mick Schumacher, he's been getting better in the last few months. Whether or not he can keep that form for the rest of the season, there's still a lot of races to go. He could even end the season well behind Magnussen, or he could catch up and overtake. That's what we have to wait and see with Formula 1, and with the new upgrades coming for Haas, as they're going to start understanding those upgrades more, there's going to be more opportunities for points as well, presumably. So with all of that in mind, do you think that Mick Schumacher is a good move for Alpine? Not do you think he'll end up there? Do you think that Mick Schumacher is a good, solid option for Alpine, or should they be looking elsewhere, i.e. Daniel Ricciardo? But maybe this following does indicate that it's not all as simple as it seems. Obviously that leaves an open seat down at Haas, which would probably be, alongside Williams, his only two options. And for me personally, I've said this for last month, I don't see Daniel Ricciardo going to Haas or Williams. I just don't see it happening. Obviously it could. It absolutely could. But to have a driver of Daniel Ricciardo's calibre, okay, he hasn't been able to, turn it on recently at McLaren. But to have a driver of his calibre down in Williams or Haas is just... I don't know. I just can't see it happening. Part of me can't see it happening. But then again, I didn't see Alonso moving to Aston Martin either. So it shows that silly season is called silly season for a reason. And if you want to keep up to date with every single twist and turn in the driver market, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video as well. It really helps out and you can always change your mind later. And if you ring the notification bell, you get all of the latest news pinged into your inbox as the news drops. But guys, thank you ever so much. I know I haven't uploaded for the last couple of days. I've been pretty busy and the news has been quite slow. And also don't forget to follow us on Twitch. It's RaceBeacon, just like it is over here on YouTube. We're going to be having some streams where we're making some new graphics and talking about Formula 1. And they should be some pretty chill streams. So if you just want to chill out and talk about Formula 1, then I recommend going over and following us on Twitch. But as ever guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and have a great day. Until next time, goodbye.